What is up, Raider Nation? What is up, YouTube? This is Wi-Fi Willie of the Raiders Rundown. We have so many topics we're going to talk about today. Hunter Renfrow, his thoughts on moving to Oakland and Vegas before the draft. Josh McDaniels takes out a full-page ad to thank Patriots fans. We look at the top free agent Raiders who could come back to the team this next year. And we also look at PFF's list of top 100 players, which does include 3 Raiders. So we're going to talk about all this today. But first, I wanted to get to Derek Carr. I mean, we had several videos yesterday and the day before talking about Derek Carr, his contract with the Raiders, the ongoing discussion of what's going to happen with the negotiations. I just want to say, I originally made a video Monday where I said he could make $40 million a year. Everybody gave me shit for that. Other content creators made fun of me privately. And when you look at Vincent Bossignor's latest tweet, it seems highly likely that he's going to make $40 million a year, according to Vincent Bosignor. And I know he's not right about everything, but this guy seems the most clued in compared to any beat reporter. Back in 2020, mid-season during the trade deadline, he said the Raiders are interested in Unique Ngakoue, and that ended up being true. We ended up signing Ngakoue in the offseason after the 2020 season, so he seems to have some sort of insight, right? We'll see what happens, though. I guarantee a deal is going to get done, and it's going to upset a lot of Raiders fans. It's going to upset Raiders fans who want him to take team friendly because they like him, and Raiders fans who do not like this guy at all, no matter what he does. All right, so let's get into some Raiders who are free agents who I think are the most likely to come back to the team next year. Raiders free agents likely to return. I'm going to start off number 1 with the guard, age 27, Jermaine Illuminor. He made $990K last year. I think he started 1 game he came in, but really the Raiders decided to move Leatherwood to right guard instead of right tackle, and that spelled the end for Jermaine Illuminor. Tom Cable, for whatever reason, thought Brandon Parker being there at right tackle was a significant upgrade over Leatherwood, or maybe he thought Leatherwood being at right guard is a significant other upgrade than having Illuminor there. It was very interesting to see that happen. As you can tell by his picture right there, Jermaine used to be a Patriot, and he started for the Patriots, and so it wouldn't be crazy for Josh McDaniels to retain this guy. I actually think he's the most likely to be retained by the Raiders. Check out this guy's social media. He is very positive about the new coaching staff and the new organization. A lot of players kind of just don't speak that much because you never know your future, right? You never know what's going to happen. Jermaine, he seems very confident he's going to be a part of the team in the future, which is why he's so vocal on social media about his admiration for the Raiders and the new coaching staff. So I think this guy is most likely going to come back next year. Hopefully he can reach that production that he did have with the Patriots, and Josh McDaniels is going to have a great guard to work with. And maybe we can move Leatherwood back to right tackle since he's drafted as a right tackle. I mean, you probably should play right tackle, right? If you're drafted as a right tackle, hopefully that could happen too. Another guy who could be really interesting, Zay Jones. I mean, I think this guy might not make it, but I hope he returns. He says he likes playing in Vegas. You see him at pressers all the time. He says Derek Carr's his guy, doesn't want to hear any Derek Carr disrespect. He says he loves the Las Vegas Raiders organization. He took a $2.5 million deal last year to just stay with the Raiders. He says he wanted to stay in Vegas, didn't want to move, like the locker room, like the team. However, that was under John Gruden. Who knows what it's going to be like now. But he has some chemistry with Derek Carr. Even if we do bring in, look, we're not going to bring in Devontae Adams. I'm just going to say that right now, just so we can just nip that in the butt. Realistically, we're not bringing him in. I'm just going to say that. You could debate me all you want, but I just don't think that's going to happen. So if we do get a number 1, maybe we try to get Aguilar back. Maybe we draft a wide receiver. Zay Jones could still be that number 2 receiver and obviously fill in nicely in case someone gets hurt. Maybe he'll take a 1-year deal again. I don't know. Or he'll test free agency. But $2.5 million last year, not too crazy. Maybe see a bump up in his price, have a multi-year deal. Depends on what Derek Carr thinks. Depends on what Josh McDaniels thinks. Hopefully Derek Carr is going to pound the table for this guy because it's really hard to replace that connection. When you have a QB and a receiver and you mix it up and you have a new receiver, that timing in itself can be so difficult to get used to. And you wouldn't want to see all the progress they made go away. Like Zay Jones wasn't an elite receiver last year, but he definitely was clutch. You can't deny he was clutch in several moments, and his production clearly went up with more targets. So I think he would be a nice piece to have next year. And then another person who could come back, I think Jalen Richard. A lot of people say, oh, McDaniels is going to get the full potential out of Drake and Jacobs. Look, McDaniels historically and the Patriots, they don't really spend high prices for their running backs. I don't think after this year, Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake will be on the team in the future. Unless they take a pay cut, because I just don't think Josh McDaniels is going to pay that kind of money. You saw the Patriots ship away Sony Michel after he was up for a contract. Maybe they do the same with Jacobs and Drake. I'm not sure, but I just highly doubt they spend a lot of money at the running back position. And I think maybe you bring in some veterans and get a nice rotation of guys going, typically what they do in New England. And Jalen Richard has built a connection with Derek Carr just like Zay Jones. He's a great pass blocking running back. Those are actually hard to find. It's kind of hard to find those types of guys. He is a great receiver. He led the Raiders in receptions in 2018. So pass catching running back, we know Josh McDaniels likes to get his running backs involved in the passing game. Expect him to try to do that with Jalen Richard. And hopefully Jalen Richard can retire a Raider, because I really like his story. Undrafted, been with the Raiders this whole time, and he has been a sleeper stable veteran on the Raiders. Aside from Derek Carr and Nicholas Morrow, Jalen Richard is the longest tenured Raider on our team. So that is very interesting. PFF releases their top 101 players, and we got 3 Raiders on the list. Max Crosby in there at number 12. Colton Miller, our left tackle, there at number 46. And Nate Hobbs, the rookie, at 79. Very impressive for Nate Hobbs to make this list his first year as a rookie. Let's hope he doesn't have any, road troubles anymore. We need you, Nate Hobbs. We need you. So let's hopefully nothing bad happens there. Very impressive for Max Crosby. According to PFF, one of the top 15 players in the whole entire NFL. I mean, that's astounding for somebody like Max. And hopefully he retires a Raider and is here for a long time. We got to lock this guy in. He is one of our best players, if not our best player on the whole entire team. Colton Miller, stable piece for us at left tackle, and that is going to look cheap in the future, quite frankly. So hopefully this guy stays for a long time as well. I'm disappointed that Hunter Renfrow is not on this list. I think he's a top 101 player. Darren Waller, you see, he's not on this list. That's what happens when you're not that healthy. You're not going to be on lists like these. No Unique Ngakoue on this list as well, despite having a large amount of sacks. No Casey Hayward. I think Casey Hayward deserved to be on this list, but I think this is a little bit of a popularity contest in some respects. And no Derek Carr. Derek Carr, not a top 101 player according to PFF. That's a little crazy if you look at the statistics, but he's going to get no love from Sam Monson and company at PFF. Josh McDaniels thanks Patriot fans in a full-page ad. This happened just today. And yes, it kind of annoys me that the Patriots are just totally taking over this organization. But as long as it leads to victories, I really don't care. But I really wish the Raiders would have been able to do it their way, but clearly that hasn't panned out. So Brady is being praised by our head coach. You guys know on this channel, I do not like Tom Brady. I do not respect Tom Brady. I think he wins literally through cheating and through referees being generous to him. I do not think he is that talented and athletic, but it is what it is. He's got the wins. He's got the victories with our head coach, and our head coach loves this guy. He says Tom Brady made him better while he was the defensive quality control coach in New England. Going against Brady, the GOAT, every single day made him better, and hopefully this works out for the Raiders. Okay, you're saying Tom Brady made you great? Tom Brady's the greatest? You've worked with the greatest? All right, take us to the Super Bowl this year if you're so freaking great. Let's go ahead and do it. Belichick taught him how to teach the game. He's saying he primarily learned the game of football from his father, but Belichick, he thought, taught him how to teach the game to players, and that's a really interesting comment there. And Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, had an emotional phone call with Josh McDaniels when he was hired by the Raiders. Very interesting to note. You would think maybe Kraft, the owner, would be salty that McDaniels is leaving for the Raiders because he was really in line to take over as head coach when Belichick was done. So you would think Kraft would be upset, but I guess they have a lot of admiration for each other, and so Kraft was nothing but happy for him. Who knows? He could be lying. This is a PR move too, right? Maybe Kraft was like, oh, screw you. You're going to leave us for Vegas? But who knows? Who knows really at the end of the day? And that's a cool thing. Hopefully he doesn't have to take out a newspaper ad to thank us anytime soon, and he's going to be here for quite some time. Draft picks do not always get to choose where they go, right? And you get nervous about what team's going to select you. Hunter Renfrow was in a situation where he didn't even know if he was going to get drafted, and he ended up getting drafted in the 5th round, but he was thinking, could it be 4th, 5th, 7th, or not drafted at all? And quite frankly, Hunter Renfrow, according to this interview from the Clemson Insider, he didn't think he was really going to get drafted, and so him and his wife were thinking, all right, as a free agent, where would you not want to go? And the number one place he did not want to go as a free agent was the Raiders. That's actually a pretty crazy part of this story, and it's not not necessarily the organization he didn't want to go to. And so the people are going to clickbait that, by the way. I'm not trying to do that to you. It was the location. Now, here's a quote here by Renfrow from the Clemson Insider. They were there in Oakland for 1 year, and up until college, I thought Oakland was in like Florida, Renfrow said. I had no idea where Oakland was. My geography is awful. It's so far away from home. When I found out it was California, taxes. And I was like, I don't want to be there. Then go all the way across the country from my family, and then we're going to Vegas in a year. And you know, Sin City, that's the Strip, that's craziness. So that's the number one place we did not want to go. But Renfrow is in Vegas. Now, here's the key thing that I find from this. Renfrow is considered a really good character guy, right? You never heard any complaints. He's never gotten in any trouble since he's been with the team. No substance abuse issues that we know of or anything like that. And really great player, right? So it's interesting to see a high character player not wanting to go to Vegas. Oftentimes we talk about how players would be drawn to Vegas. You got low taxes. It's a fun, hip city. That can cause a lot of trouble, though, when you're in a fun city, get into some problems 24/7, everything's open. But Renfrow, the good character guys, not necessarily interested in going to Vegas, which is something that we might need to watch out for when we're looking for free agents. But thankfully, draft picks, they don't get to decide where they want to go. So if we would have let Renfrow slip through the cracks, and if John Gruden and Mayock would not have drafted Renfrow in the 5th round, maybe he becomes a free agent, and then boom, we aren't able to pick him up because he doesn't want to live in Oakland. He doesn't want to live in Vegas. But thankfully, Renfrow is a Raider, Pro Bowler this year. Super stoked and hyped off him. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys love Hunter Renfrow? I want to know in the comments below. Do you guys love this guy, Hunter Renfrow? I know I do. We'll see what the future has to hold for us. You know, a lot of roster moves are going to be made right now. You see a couple players getting released. Dante Flower of the Falcons released, pass rusher today. And so maybe we'll start seeing some decisions made with our team. Right now is a window where players can be released, players can be traded, contracts can be extended. Either way, we are going to go live when there is breaking news. We will be right here on this channel. If it's not too crazy breaking, I'm just going to make a video for you, right? All right. But we'll let you know everything that's going on. Try to tell you the truth. I am not trying to lie to anybody here. I'm trying to be honest with what I think is happening. That's why I told you earlier in the video. I don't think Davante Adams is happening. I think that's a little hype, a little hype and misleading, to be quite honest. But hopefully it does. I'd love to see that happen. But we'll try to maintain a sense of integrity on this show and let you know it can realistically happen. So thank you guys for checking out this video. Like this if you watched it all the way through. Remember to subscribe to this channel and check out some other content I have on this page. This has been Wi-Fi Willie of the Raiders Rundown. Peace out, and I hope to see you on the next one.